running away from the law is one thing, but she says war. Unless Katma's got a new equation for the word war, that implies a couple thousand, tens of thousands of people.
Well, that's part of why we're here. We don't have no tens of thousands of people.
You're trying to start a war?
Zanzibar is, to be precise.
The person, not the continent or the people.
Right. The people are along for the ride, as are the three of us, and soon all of our home countries.
Huh.
Well,
You know, I already smelled
is-
something rotten in Denmark when he was telling... not rotten in Denmark. A word other than Denmark. Rotten in Slogos. Something's rotten in Slogos.
something slogan and slogos.
The
Yeah.
slogan of Slogos.
Slogan time.
It's
Slogan
slogan
time. And then he slogs all over the place.
Ah! That sounds awful!
Clean up after yourself, man.
Yeah, get it together.
So-
God,
Oh,
since
that's
it's some slogging everywhere.
He's not the one slogan.
You're
Michael
the only...
Slogius is.
Slyko Slogius. Sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh character, and I don't know why. Something was rotten in the Slogos when you started mentioning these 5 countries. Now these 5... I hate politics. She's just gonna lean against the counter. Look, I ain't promising nothing. I certainly don't have the governance to be able to drag anything in Maurices into a war, but I can at least try and pick this guy's brain.
Good luck with that.
Well, generally, when you want something from somebody, you're willing to play some cards on the table.
Well, technically speaking, we could call him here.
Yeah, do it, Samson.
Alright. And Samson... Samson does that thing that he does when he tries to contact Zanzibar, where he'll, like, look upwards into his brain, but not actually. But, like his head will just sort of, like, look up, and his eyes will be looking up, and he's just gonna, like... And he will mentally communicate with Zanzibar.
What's he doing?
You'll see.
Okay.
He has the ability to contact us through our minds, so if we think for him hard enough, we can call him here.
Okay. And what's the Samson do?
Samson's gonna be like, I talked to Oakley, she's on our side, she wants to talk to you. You around?
And Samson will hear no response.
Oh, he got left on red.
Yeah.
Zanzibar, 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 Zanzibar.
He will hear the Zanzibars echo into the deepest part of his mind. Echo!
Oh, all I can hear in my head is myself. That's weird.
That never happens.
Yeah, you don't hear yourself think.
Not if you don't think.
Yeah, that was the joke.
No think, act.
No think, gunspin.
No,
Yeah,
this
no.
is Samson time. This is not Remy. But yeah, no. Samson receives no response as of right now.
I guess the DM doesn't want to show up.
What did he say?
I said I guess the DM doesn't want him to show up.
Yeah. Kiala tried too, I assume it's the same.
No, it seems gonna be like... like, after a few seconds, it's gonna be like, huh, no response. Might have went back to sleep.
Does he answer
But I
Hyal?
assume Kiala did this. I repeat my question.
What does Ciao say?
She just tries to call him.
How does she do that?
She says his name. When you call someone.
She looks in the mirror and says Zanzibar 3 times.
Well, I asked the question because I didn't
She goes
know if
right
you
here, she
felt
grabs
like...
both their hands, they perform a seance.
Well, no, I didn't know if you felt like actually role-playing in the role-playing game.
A
But
seance.
you can say it as well. But yeah, no, she'll do as she said. And she'll just hear groan sounds like, right!
Where was someone who'd like to talk to you?
I'm assuming you're not dead and not dying, and you're communicating with... what's her name?
Yeah, Kiala's gonna look to Oakley and be like, do you have a message in particular? He sounds like he doesn't want to talk. Which is odd.
And she just
Does so
looks
much of it.
she just looks very, like, confused. Because to her, 3 kids are just sitting in a room. One of them just decides to look up at the ceiling. Like he's channeling divinity itself. And then the other one's like, oh, he sounds like he
How
doesn't
far
want to
from
talk.
it?
Yeah, it's like the fucking Shining going on right now. And she's just...
You know, for recognizing that things are out of her ballpark, she really is expecting things to be in her ballpark.
Yeah. Like, homie, you're with a bunch of weirdos right now.
So if Oakley doesn't, if she just looks confused, Kiala just be like, never mind. Sorry to bother you. Another time, though.
Wait, did she say that to Oakley or Zanzibar?
Zanzibar.
Look, if you want to get things gone, just mention what your headmaster's doing. That should be enough. I've kind of got my hands full. Of course, if you're dying, I will change that, and I will just, come. But, like, you're kind of doing something.
Bye then.
I'm just playing Cat's Cradle, by the way.
Samson's like taking a finger and kind of like using it to like not swat at, but like just move one of the tassels and have it swing back and forth.
What, like down by the kittens?
No, he's out of the bathroom back in the kitchenette.
Oh, so he's just swatting at his own tassels?
Yeah, just kind of like poking at it with a finger and watching it swing.
So what does Yellow say?
Nothing. She'll just look to Oakley and be like, well, if you come up with anything, we can attempt contact again.
Was it doing something?
Sounded like it.
Hmm.
I'm certainly unhappy to be bothered.
This day just keeps getting weirder and weirder.
Yeah, it's best to just sort of get used to it.
It has been going on for a couple months now. At least for the 3 of us.
Yeah, I've been stuck in this blasted place for too many decades.
The world, interesting. That's out of racist.
Certainly got a hell of a lot more colors than just sand, other sand, and beige.
Green.
Green? Well, they got different kinds of green.
DePello said you did travel back in the day.
Yeah, those were the days. Young and without a care in the world. And Lester, Ara, best years of my life. And then it all got flushed down the drain.
What happened?
That's a story for another time, Samson. And she's just gonna put the cap on the pickle jar and start walking away.
When you say away, does that mean like out of the room?
Yeah, no, she just starts walking. Like, it strikes you as odd having known her longer than anybody else, because it was like she just started staring off into space, and she normally doesn't dismiss your questions so flatly, or really anybody's. She usually has that Spitfire nature in it.
Yeah, Yellow looks at Samson and is like, did I say something wrong?
No.
I really want to ask, should I read her mind?
Yes.
Yes, read her mind?
Yes, now this is the chance! For the love of God, you finally have someone's mind to read other than ours.
But I like.
You've already invaded Samson's privacy.
Yeah, I'll cast Detect Thoughts. What are her surface level thoughts?
Her surface level thoughts are, as she's walking past the door, better put this back on the door. As you see her picking up the brace to the door. Can't let anybody know that anything's changed around here. Gotta keep him and those two safe.
The green covers are gonna get us killed.
Well, it's not a permanent change. Eventually, it's gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, in an hour.
Tragic.
Prestidigitation.
And then as she's putting the thing on the door and relocking it, she's like, "Now, I gotta figure out why those covers are stained." Well, I guess that's why we keep spare sheet sets around.
So actually, Nim, when we walked out, I assume Nim didn't close the door, because why would she?
Yeah, why would she?
And she changed it back when we left because it's no longer relevant, so the sheets are now red.
Well, assuming that she didn't see the bed.
I mean, they did talk about why the sheets are green.
Yeah, but and Yellow looked at Nim like, don't say anything. It's funnier this way.
Yeah, Samson
Nim
thought
agreed.
she changed the sheets to green, and Oakley thought he changed the sheets to green.
She's gonna go back in the room and see the sheets are green.
Yep.
No, the door was closed enough she didn't see it.
Oh.
I wanted to mess with Oakley.
Another time.
Should have thought to mention that the sheets changed earlier.
It wasn't relevant earlier.
But yeah, no. So that's her surface level thoughts, and then she's also like,
Nim keeps it up for the whole minute.
God damn, I gotta feed the kids too. There ain't no rest. Guess it is my fault for being
She'll offer Samson a biscuit.
I did.
And she'll kind of
And
like
eats another biscuit herself.
come back over to the kitchen, open up another cabinet, and start taking out cat food. Or, you know, I think technically their name is Phyllis something. They're. I just don't feel like opening up all the files, taking the time to do it. But,
The spuzz food.
yeah, no, she starts.
The spood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Wow. But she starts putting the food together, and while she's doing that, your minute will be up.
Oakley
Phil
thinks
just-
too slow.
Huh?
What?
By the time she I mean, have easily taken her like a minute to walk there and back to the kitchen. It's not thinking slow.
Think's too slow. Think more thoughts, Oakley.
Think at the speed of a Nim.
Think
That would be even
a
slower!
sugar-fueled child.
If she
Think
thought
at the
it was-
speed of talking's a free action.
But continue. Oakley's doing a thing.
You know, she's putting the cat food together and your spell ends. So what the
So-
party doing? Oh, I'm
Also,
sorry.
if you're buddies with one of the headmasters, could we expect you to know any of the other ones?
Well, like I said, me and Boris used to go adventuring. Lester was another one that was with us, and Arad, who was over in Draco, Iraq, was our fourth. That was our own party, our own gang.
We had 4.
We have 4 and they all live.
Oh, it was a pretty well-rounded party. Well, kinda, sorta. Lester and his alchemist. Lester and his. Wait. Yeah. Alchemist is the right word. I started getting the words crossed. Lester, like I mentioned, was and is an alchemist, so we never really had to buy many potions. We'd just go out, pick a bunch of stuff, and we were topped up. Boris being a barbarian, Alrod being a classic fighter, had all the front line we could stand to have, and then there was me. Safe place, protecting Lester, snapping anything that tried to hurt my boys. Good times.
We have no frontliners. We're just we're long range that pretend to be frontliners.
Pretty much.
We can frontline, but
Yeah,
like
we can
that's
frontline.
lame.
Nim
That's
can-
not really. We weren't built to frontline, but we all can
Nim
frontline.
cannot
You all
frontline.
had to learn how to because you're frontliner.
Nim can frontline just fine.
No, she
Yeah.
really can't. No, when you're too close, you have disadvantage on spellcasting, remember?
Yeah, that's if you're right next to them.
Which is what happens when you frontline.
You have Mr. Golem. You're just as much of a frontliner as you is a backliner.
Mr. Golem is his own independent construct, and he doesn't need no spellcaster to keep it down.
That's a lie. His free will was literally removed with an explosion and a promise of candy.
Oh god. Look at Nim subjugating the masses.
Yeah. All because Zanzibar said so.
Nim doesn't subjugate anyone. Nim can
Yeah,
spell it, though.
She's rich. Her existence is subjugating.
Why you gotta say it like that, homie?
Because it's
No,
true.
no, she's got a point.
Ah, she got a point. So anyway, what was the last thing you said?
Oakley was talking about how well-rounded they are.
Yeah.
Reminiscing about the good old days.
So, that means out of the 5 of us, Nim's headmasters never been with you guys?
No, I don't know much about her. I've heard a couple of things. You know, headmasters are always interconnected in some way. There's a political aspect to it. We're kind of an oddball out of the situation. Because, you know, we all ended up meeting each other eventually. Back before we were ever headmasters. And I think we were about y'all ages. Well, and she kind of... Well, how old does Nim look? That's a good question.
22.
Yeah. It's a, yeah, probably a
30.
probably about her age. Little bit older than you two, as she points at Sanson and Yala. quite that young, but... Well, alright, definitely wasn't. Oh, bastard. Just catch her smiling as she's, futzing with the cat food. At least I think he's still kicking around. Certainly haven't heard about him passing. But I know Lester deals with a lot more of the political aspects of things than I ever cared to, so... Last I remember him mentioning, he usually does do a lot of talks and discussions with Glotnia. Draco Narak to a certain extent. Then there's the Sardom, which is over... She kind of looks and then she figures where Northwest is. She's like, over that way. You know, look at a world map. Then there's the lesser academies. They always play a role and a part in things. That's rude of me. I really shouldn't say lesser, you know. Vod wouldn't be Vod if it wasn't for a few key individuals. And she'll turn around with the food and head into the bathroom. Alright, Tannies, chow time.
Oh, I already fed them, but...
You just let her make all the food.
He probably only just remembered.
When did he feed him?
He split up some
He gave him
Albert, right?
rations.
Yeah, he's...
I remember seeing that. He did? Nah, it doesn't matter. They're little. Let them get a little fat. Better to overfeed a babe than underfeed it.
Both are bad.
I just imagine Nim doing the, like, hands together under her mouth. And then you just, like, put them forward. Like, both
Boy.
of that.
But what about neither?
What if you did this thing called don't?
Both feed and do not feed at the same time.
Yeah.
Paradox the food.
Yeah, imagine Nim talking to someone about moderation.
Yeah.
Imagine Nim knowing anything
Nim's
about the
level
word.
of moderations are just not the same as you guys, and that's okay.
Nim's level of moderation is that she moderately doesn't understand what the word means.
Nim understands what it means, just on a completely different scale. And that's okay.
Oh, these 1%ers and their idea of what moderation is. So anyway, what actually happens?
How far in the bathroom is Oakley?
Just in the door.
Oh, I don't know why, but I assumed that, like, the kittens were, like, over here.
I mean, yeah.
And why would the kittens be in the toilet?
It provides fresh water.
And
Y'all know
yet
plumbing.
she wants to talk about overfeeding a kid.
We just talked to... Oh.
So, what goes on?
Oh, Nim, do you want a biscuit?
Oh, thanks.
Samson doesn't actually have the biscuit, so,
Yella, like, leans the package toward her.
Nim takes a biscuit, Nim has a biscuit.
Kella has another biscuit. Kella's eating a lot of biscuit.
Yeah.
Keller really
She's
likes
doing
the
that thing where you're
biscuits.
not like aware that you're eating food, but because there's food in your hand, it just keeps ending up in your mouth.
yeah. She's bored eating.
Like when you're finished eating your food at a place that had fries, and there's still some fries, and they're like right there, so
You just keep eating them. Unless they're
Yeah.
bad fries.
yeah. So she's just like every so often eating another biscuit.
So how do you
Samson thinks she really likes these biscuits.
So how do you think the talk is going?
Huh? Well,
We still have to convince her?
no. She just seems to have gone off down memory lane.
Oh.
I think.
She
Oakley, are you convinced yet?
Convinced of what?
To help us out?
Samson, if I wasn't gonna help your dumb ass, I wouldn't have done anything other than arrest you.
She swore, is what I really want to say.
she's
I'm
been swearing.
thinking-
I know!
I'd like to think you'd have heard me out before arresting me.
She did.
Samson,
Why we're here.
if I
You know, like the first time.
The first time. Oh wait, I know what you're talking about.
And you'll see her look you dead in the eyes and go to hold her finger up, and like she's about to say something, she's like, yeah, like the first time. Samson, you know damn well that my personal responsibility, well, you should know, but I think you have a better appreciation of it now than you did before. As much as every single one of you students is a thorn in my side in your own creative and individual way, some less so than others, and certainly some less stylish than others, I care about you. Y'all in some way, shape, or form are my kids. I watch you, I protect you, and by God, I hope when you leave here, I don't see an obituary in the next news cycle. So of course I was gonna help you. No matter what. What kind of headmaster would I be if I ever turned my back on one of you? She kind of just, with this look of, I don't really know how to describe it. I think the best I could come up with is like parental dignity. Does that make any kind of sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, she just stares you down.
And Samson's got like a big ol' like genuine smile on his face. He's like, yeah, she's convinced.
Cool.
I'm convinced that you're a thorn.
Oh my fucking god.
What?
I never realized that. That's the funniest fucking thing.
What?
Huh? That the material component of detect thoughts is a copper piece?
Yeah, penny for your thoughts.
Yeah, I never realized that till now. That's so fucking good.
I'm just glad it doesn't actually take my penny.
I mean, in your case, it doesn't take anything. You cast it with your brain.
Yeah. Once a day.
Now, do you have any idea what you wanted to ask me to look to get you?
Yeah. And Samson's going to present Oakley with a list.
Oakley takes the list and starts reading it over. What does the list say?
Some sticks of dynamite, a few pounds of gunpowder, some cases of ammunition for his guns. A few health potions.
And then more health potions, and then more
Yeah.
health potions, and then more health potions.
Why does half this list say health potions? Trust us.
Because war.
Anything else?
Rope. You can never have too much rope.
Rope.
Get Samson's favorite alcohol.
And then there's rope on there. Anything else on the list?
I'm partially tempted to put booze on the list, but I don't think Samson will.
So it's dynamite, gunpowder, ammo for his guns, and rope. Oh, and health potions.
Oh, and bombs.
I thought that's what the dynamite was.
No, bombs and dynamite are different.
Fair enough. She's gonna look.
Dynamite's got a cool mechanic because you can actually stick the sticks together, and
And
it
make a
raises
bundle.
both the damage and DC.
Yeah. And
I'm like, that's really cool. It's like modular bombs.
she just looks it over and then slowly looks up at Samson. Is like, between now and the time you left, did you forget that explosives are controlled substances? And the only time I'm allowed to give you those is if you use them in a safe and controlled environment?
It's a war.
I can make it a safe and controlled environment.
I mean, yes, I did remember that was the case, but I was
We got
hoping,
kicked out of a shop because of it.
Yeah.
I was hoping that we could, ignore the details for a little bit. We're not
Wow.
exactly in.
While I would love to fuel your insatiable need for ammunition, I have to sign that out myself. They keep regulatory checks on the stockpile of those. There is no way I'm going to be able to slip that out and give it to you. And while theoretically, yeah, I could convince the faculty, those that would stand in the way between me and getting that and giving it to you, probably could convince them to help on my merit alone. Anybody finds out, those fine people lose their jobs, and while I do have an obligation to you, I do have an obligation to them too, to keep them out
Why
of
don't you
jail.
just make a controlled environment to test them for all the students on the basis of saying that you're going to teach them how to safely use the explosives, and someone used a bit too many, and that's why there's some missing.
See, if it were that easy, I would do that all the time. Trust me. Trust me, from the political standpoint, you don't have to deal with on a daily basis. They are serious about them Schedule 1s.
For a place that's so gun happy, it seems, I don't know, strange to limit the thing that makes them useful items.
I mean, while you are right, Pharesis is quite ammunition crazy, that doesn't mean there aren't licenses, little lady. There's a reason why Pharesis isn't completely lawless, and while I don't exactly agree with the government at large, can't exactly flaunt the fact that, people don't get shot on the regular without a license. There are licenses to kill, that's why this academy exists. That's why others do. But those licenses are given to people that don't just go around and gun down innocent people, and that's why there are innocent people that can walk around safely.
Is there anything on the list that you can get without a license?
Bro,
Health potions! How dare you want to go heal things?
what, you
If we
think
can't
we
get
have some
health
sort
potions-
of universal health care? That's crazy.
Yeah.
No.
So, the dynamite unless you suddenly became a minor, that is not out.
It is a
Bombs are
minor.
out.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
Gunpowder, Samson, you already know. That goes with the other two. I don't know if I'm going to be able to write you out a box from the store, but your pistols are chambered the same way my side piece is, right?
Uh-huh. Same with my rifle.
And I can get you a few of those. My rifle's
Wait, doesn't
definitely
he not
different.
have?
Go
No,
on.
he
Never-
left his, he still has his regular ammo. He doesn't have any of his atom ammo.
My
He
question
doesn't-
was unrelated to that.
He doesn't have
Oh.
any. Oh, he doesn't have any of the. Oh, what were you gonna ask?
Samson doesn't have pistols.
He has his revolver.
Yeah, but the word pistol was used, so I got confused for a second.
Oh.
Is a
is-
revolver
but yeah,
not a pistol?
The reason I backtracked was because I figured it was
It's
just
a handgun, but it's not a pistol.
Yeah, pistols are semi-automatics.
I mean, nowadays, yeah, but flintlocks were a type of pistol.
You can have a flintlock as either a revolver or a pistol. Revolvers are the ones that have a cylinder, pistols are the other ones
I mean,
that have a magazine. Or
fair
don't.
enough. You are. I'm pretty sure you're right, considering the fact you
More
have a background.
knowledgeable than either of us.
I don't have a background, hence why I use the word apparently incorrectly. They are revolvers.
Yeah, I just figured it was a slip of the tongue. Revolvers.
For GOZ purposes, so that I don't have to get a education in firearms, we'll say that revolvers and pistols are interchangeable.
I mean, honestly, D&D just uses bullets for all of its gun ammunition. There's not a different
Yeah,
type.
considering there are no, real semi-automatics or magazine guns.
Yep,
Yeah,
unless.
we'll say it's safe to say that the designation isn't really important. But yeah, as she was saying, so I could probably just give you a few boxes of my side piece ammo for my office. And who's gonna question? All I have to do is take a box and a couple of other empty ones out to the firing range and make it look like I used them. Ain't nobody gonna be picking up casings after me.
Man, I forgot Maurice's has so many laws on this stuff.
Out of curiosity, do you know how to make it?
Make what?
Ammunition.
Yeah.
If we found a way to put together something that Merrymaker could make his own, then the regulations don't mean anything. We just need enough to build up the raw materials and the supplies to put it all together.
I mean, the ammunition.
I've developed a knack for putting things together. I'm sure I can try my hand at it.
I mean, yeah, I could probably get you a resheller kit. It's not like the ammunition's as hard to get, it's just the explosives. Ammunition's practically useless if you don't have a piece. Well, it's kind of hard to get a piece without having a license unless you dig one out of the sands. And, well, and she just looks at Samson. I'm sure you can tell them how hard it can be to go around to those sites without regulation.
Yeah, it could be a pain.
Exactly. Certainly a hell of a lot more dangerous.
So there is a way to generate these things ourselves, though?
Yeah. It's easy to reshell a bullet as long as you have the machinery to do it. Or, the mechanism.
And what about the other controlled materials?
Bombs? Usually, black powder's hard to get. It's one of those things. That's why it's Schedule 1. Bullets have powder.
But is it hard to make?
I mean, no, if you have raw materials, but usually you gotta mine those out of the earth.
We have sources.
Samson's starting to catch on to what Yella's saying, and he's getting like a smile's creeping on his face. It's like, I could make my own, couldn't I?
I can't imagine Oakley likes him just slowly smiling at the idea of
Yeah,
endless.
she's just watching that with a flat look on her face. I can get you a couple of cases of ammo. I can certainly get you some potions, and rope's pretty easy. Outside of that, I don't want to know what the hell you're cooking up. I want to know nothing
Yella
about
gives him
Schedule
like a
1.
little pat on the back, like I can get you the rest. Like outside of Oakley's line of view, just like pat pat.
I don't know why I should be surprised. You know, this is how I do things.
I know it's not how you do things. It's also the reason why you're always a stone's throw away from being locked up in a penitentiary.
You phrase it like Samson does illegal stuff all the time.
He did!
I was really hoping Oakley would just look at her like she had 7 heads.
She just looks straight at him. He's like, he did!
Not much anymore.
I've never seen him do anything illegal.
He was literally a black market criminal that did a bunch of crap that no kid should ever have to do. Granted, he didn't have the worst reason for doing it, but...
So tempted to be like, prove it.
And she just looks over at him, it's like... Reasoning wasn't the worst, but he was still on the same level as murderous thugs and thieves. Not exactly a person his age should be doing that, let alone anybody else. It's amazing how he survived without getting shot or killed, or managing to backtrack some bad luck back to anybody he cared about. It was not a life anybody should live.
Not killed.
What'd he say?
He said definitely not killed.
Who? Him? The people
Samson.
he cared about, or?
No, this is when she said that he's lucky that he didn't get shot or killed. He said, well, definitely not killed.
Shot fatally, Samson. Please.
Like, there are things you gotta specify.
Where did you get shot?
Right here. And right here. And he's gonna like point to different spots like on his shirt.
If he doesn't also point to the hole in his hat, I'm gonna be sad.
Oh. And well, he was going to right here, and he's gonna point to his hat, but that was when I was ducking.
Oakley just stands there shaking her head. Yeah, kind of tapestry. I remember that time you hurt yourself and I had to bandage you up. You're covered in them scars.
Why didn't you get a doctor?
Because it would have taken more time than getting somebody to call over when I could have just dressed the wound when I found him.
Nim forgetting that people can't just teleport.
We had a whole conversation.
Nim forgetting
about
people get hurt because they do things.
Nim forgetting
Dang.
that people have activities and skills that they can do themselves.
Nim forgetting
Yeah.
that people.
Nim forgetting the human?
Nim forgetting independence.
Nim?
Can't forget to lean in.
Nim forgetting heart.
So now Nim's opinion is, Samson has done no crime. Samson has done a little crime, but not very good at it. Oakley got anything else to say?
No, that's about it. Sansa got anything else to say?
Well, Samson's just gonna kind of like stretch a bit. It's like, well, I don't really know where else to go from here. I guess, well, you can grab us that stuff, and once you get back with it, I guess we could take our leave.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to write a note to Lester. Can't let myself forget that. Oh, you mentioned that Boris believed you after the broadcast. What did he have to say about all this?
Well, his immediate response was to cry, which was strange as we were outside.
Yeah, that sounds like him. She's got a little smile on her face.
He's rallying up the peoples of the mountain to join in the fighting wherever it takes place. At least to be prepared for what could happen. You'll probably be getting a letter from him about all of this at some point. He sent one when I left.
And you know how those spider males are.
Let's see. I should probably be here in about a day or two. At least if I remember correctly. I know he still has that. Well, I think he still has that old bird. It's been so long since I heard from so many of these people. Longer than it ever should have. Well, I'll go get that stuff. You three stay in here. Nobody enters this room. Just keep away from the windows. Don't want anybody seeing you in here. Less annoying questions being asked, the better. And by God, Samson, do not, if you even remotely hear those students, and you know the ones I'm talking about, keep yourself quiet.
Will do. Trust me, I'm never looking forward to hearing from them again. The idolization of you is real strong. Of course, then again, I didn't exactly go broadcasting and blew up the Capitol. And then she starts walking out of the wood, and you just hear her mutter, "Absence sure does make the heart grow fonder, I guess." I missed you too.
How long do you believe this will take?
Not long. It goes pretty quick. She's got her hand on the door. I mean, it's just me running back to my office, grabbing a few boxes of ammunition, sending Gil to go get some broken potions. Nobody cares where those go.
Could you pick up some candy on the way?
And as she's going to open the door, she just stops and looks back at him. got that look on her face again, and it's just like, we don't genuinely keep candy around.
Nim looks so puzzled. Like, who wouldn't?
I mean, it's not. The canteen. Yeah, we don't got desserts or treats.
I'm sure Gil has a stash somewhere.
And Oakley just raises an eyebrow at you, just starts slowly saying, it's like, you think Gil's gonna part with those?
How much does he want for it?
Oh gosh. Oh. Bitchisms.
Did she genuinely say that?
Yes.
I don't think you can afford to, buy those off a Gale. That man's got a vice or two.
I don't think
So
you
does Nim.
understand how much.
It sounds like it'll be a battle of the will.
Samson is just giving a look to Oakley of just like... just like, that's them. That's them.
Or maybe he
Kellen's
doesn't
gonna
want
pull
money.
out one
Does
of
he
her
want-
candies and hand it to Nim.
Nim takes it. Thank you.
Nim takes it and drops the subject immediately.
Does she actually drop the subject?
Hold on one second.
She's like, got to roll for it.
Yeah, where's my mouse? Oh, my mouse there. Yes, Nim does drop it.
The candy.
No. Subject.
The topic of candy.
The
Exactly.
candy topic. The topic of candy.
I was literally just about to offer gemstones.
And Oakley will just open the door and walk out while Nim is distracted with candy.
Samson wondering if it's in addition to making gunpowder, if he could learn how to make candy that Nim will pay ludicrous amounts of money for.
Samson, you're already so rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you heard how expensive the things he wants are.
You're
Like-
so rich.
Bombs.
Don't forget you have that really pricey brooch.
Yeah, but that,
You're
like, it's hard
awesome.
for things like that to fetch market price when they're not sold on the real market. God, you have so much to learn about crime.
It's an expensive brooch that's genuinely just worth a lot. Why wouldn't it sell quickly to some rich punk?
No, it's not that it won't sell quickly. It's that you gotta sell it to a right vendor, and you gotta sell it at the right price, or else it'll turn some heads.
Yeah. Rogues know nothing about having to sell things for the right price.
But yeah,
I mean, Samson's very persuasive.
the party is in Sam room. What the party doing?
That was Oakley.
I see. Kayla like looks at the door she walked out, looks at Samson, looks back at the door, decides not to say anything.
That's a character.
Samson's
In a
going to
TTRPG.
Samson's going to look at Yella like like almost expecting her to say something with the amount of gestures she gave.
Yeah, no, it's pretty clear she was thinking of things to say, and then decided to not say them.
Yella's doing a lot of deciding not to say.
She does that a lot. That's like 80% of her character trait.
Hey, Samson.
Yes?
Why do you have strangers' clothes in your room?
Oh. Why are you guys going through my room?
The wardrobe was open.
Oh yeah, I don't usually lock that, do I? Well...
I killed a man.
Yeah, that is what happened.
We already know about that man.
Yeah, Samson's going to, like, sit down on one of, like, the steps here. Looking over at, Niminyala.
Get away from the window, you dolts.
The window is closed.
I look out the window, kidding.
Push. Well, you see, don't go through my shit.
Stop leaving it open, even though it was actually closed.
But anywho, Samson's just gonna be like, well, you guys know I got in here because I ended up killing the top student at Voracious before me. And, well, this was his room. This was where he lived. And it just never felt right to change that. So I just sort of locked everything away. I never even really slept in the bed over there.
Where'd you sleep?
Oh, on the sofa in the bedroom. Never really got good sleep in there.
Because you didn't use the bed.
No, not really.
Yeah.
It never felt right. But I think after everything, I'm ready to move on. That is, if I can ever come back here without a target on my back.
Sounds like you had a group of fanboys on your back.
Oh, fans is not the term. Let me tell you that. And Samson just like is drained from the mention of them.
Nim is like so tempted to go look for some.
Do it. Go. Just like Misty step out of here and run.
Don't even have to do that, honestly. The running part. Hey, Samson?
Yes?
How does the average student here dress?
Oh. And he's just gonna... he's gonna gesture to his bedroom and is like, oh. Something like what I got in there. You've seen the differences in clothes. They either dress like me or dress like that.
So no style or some style, gotcha. Nim thinks.
Why do you ask?
I haven't decided yet.
Should I be worried?
About what?
You?
Why?
Sometimes you worry me, Nim.
Why? What did I do?
You haven't decided yet.
Dang. Kel is just like staring off towards the door to Samson's room.
Like, why did they board it back up?
No, she's thinking about stuff.
About what?
Would you like to share with the class?
She was waiting until you guys were done discussing what's wrong with Nim.
There's nothing wrong with him.
That's Samson's. That final statement is Samson's piece.
Yellow, do I worry you?
What?
Do I worry you?
Worry me?
Mm-hmm.
Like right now?
Yes.
Or in
More
general.
than usual?
Than usual? What's that supposed to mean?
Well, there's a baseline of these things. She kind of like just sort of like hovers a hand. Like...
All of you.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, what were you thinking about?
Oh. Just those clothes. If we could repurpose them or something. Of course, it's technically Merrymaker's property now, but... And she looks at Samson and is like, if you think you want to actually move on from it, they could be useful.
Oh, what'd you have in mind? I was just thinking of giving them away.
Well, sturdy cloth can be a good commodity to have. You never know. Makeshift bandages.
Do you want all of them or nothing?
Temporary armor.
I still have pounds of cloth that I traded from the pirate.
Well, we can have more. Or you can give them away. It just seemed an odd waste to let them sit there a long time. And
I mean, yeah. I couldn't make use of them because they never fit me, and, well, it seems like a waste to sort of rip them apart. Mauritius has a bit of its pride in its clothing, so...
strange, I'd have thought that a feature of Nim's hometown.
Well, you know, I think that too. But we're big on making clothes here. I remember back a while ago, Rooney was scolding me that I never learned how to do it when we first met.
I'm just gonna go get the clothes while you guys talk.
You're taking the thing off the door?
No, I'm just gonna Misty Step.
But you have to... Can't you only do it to somewhere you can see?
No.
Literally
Oh,
says
yeah,
it
it does say
you
that.
can see.
Just bore a small hole through the wall, peek through it.
Actually, hold on. Does the door have a gap or a doorknob? With the keyhole?
Yeah.
Considering Oakley had to open it up with a magnet, no.
Okay, what about a gap?
Yeah, kind of like get on the ground and peek through the wall.
Yeah, so that I can see.
Gap's not really... If there is a gap, it's gonna be too close to the floor for you to really see into.
I mean, it doesn't say see clearly, it just says that you can see.
Okay, so
I'm aware you're
yourself
trying to
under
bend the
door.
you're trying to bend the rules of the spell. I can see.
So
I can see the occupied bending.
I mean... If not, no. There are ways around it, probably. Just give me a second.
Just a mention door again.
It also is somewhere you can see, and last time we were going through the window.
Has to be somewhere you can see?
Yeah.
Doesn't it move up to 500 feet?
Yes.
What the fuck? What the fuck you'll see it from 500 feet away?
Actually, no, it says one you can visualize or describe.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
He'd see shit from 500 feet away.
Nim should be able to visualize something pretty well after going through it.
Yeah. After rifling through all of it for like an hour. Like
you know, you can also just take the boarding down as long as you put it back up when you come out.
Nim doesn't have something to take the boarding down with.
Sad.
The boarding out isn't the issue, it's the locked door.
Just surely Samson has a key, hence the need for the boarding.
Samson, unlock your door.
No, it's a door
Wasn't it
brace.
like magnetized closed or something?
Yeah, the lock's magnetic, and the piece of wood on the other side is just a brace to keep it from opening into the room. The door opens outward, not inward. So the board is there to keep the door from opening because she was expecting him to crawl through the window. And if the door doesn't move and acts like a wall...
The door thinks it's a wall.
The board's not, like, nailed to the door. It's just got, like, a deadbolt lock and something to brace it from just being able to be opened from inside the bedroom.